Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, for this video, I'll be doing a tier maker ranking of all Marvel projects that were announced this weekend. This will not include anything from Phase 4, so Wakanda Forever is left off of this list. I wanted to include it, but for some reason, this maker just didn't have it. So, Kevin Feige announced a bunch of movies. That he announced all the Phase 4 release dates and projects that are coming up. He also gave us 3 Phase 6 projects, so that's what's in here. That's what I'll be ranking out of my own personal excitement for all these projects. So if you guys enjoy this video, please make sure to like it. Please subscribe if you're new. Let's go ahead and do this. Alright, so how this is going to go is that S tier is the ones that I'm completely hype about. Like, that's like Avengers Endgame Infinity War type of hype. A is like incredibly high hype. B, moderately hype. C, I'm excited for it. Not really hyped for it, but I'm somewhat excited for it. And then D is like, maybe I couldn't really care less for it, or, I'm going to watch it, obviously, but I'm not really excited for it. So let's start with Ant-Man the Wasp, Quantumania. I'm actually going to put this one at A tier for a couple of reasons. I remember when this was first announced, there's some rumors circling around it, like it's going to be like the Star Wars type of movie in terms of like the scale, and I don't even know, like that, just the sound of that got me excited to have like some sort of Star Wars epic scale like in Marvel. And now that we have Kang as the villain, that's sort of confirmed from this panel. We got like a little clip that was exclusive to Comic-Con that we haven't seen yet. But spoiler alert, I guess, but this will probably be in a trailer that comes out soon. It's sort of like Ant-Man goes up to Kang and says, "I'm an Avenger." And then Kang says, "You're an Avenger? Have I killed you before?" As we know from Loki, Kang is like this multiverse variant conqueror who goes across all these different timelines and takes control of them or kills them off or whatever he does. So the fact that he's the main villain here gets me super excited. I'm excited to see Cassie Lang as well, how she fits in everything, Ant-Man's daughter. And then, I heard some crazy rumors about like Fantastic Four showing up in here, maybe Doctor Doom. Will that happen? I don't think so. I think they're going to save that for a much later time. But if we can get some sort of tease for them in this movie, that'd be amazing. So I'm really excited for Quantumania. I think it's going to be a great movie. Hopefully the best out of the 3. Ant-Man the Wasp was pretty anticlimactic. I didn't like that one that much, but the first Ant-Man, I loved. Thunderbolts. I'm going to put this at B. So Thunderbolts are sort of like the Suicide Squad of Marvel. It's a bunch of villains who are hired by the government to go on these missions that are pretty much like suicide missions. That's what I think. We're probably going to see U.S. Agent here from Falcon and Winter Soldier. Who else could we see in here? Maybe like Abomination could somehow fit into this. I'm not really sure what other cast of characters they're going to throw into the Thunderbolts. And I don't really know too much about them from the comics, but it seems like it's going to be a cool project. I'm happy that we have like this villain-centered, show. I think that could be pretty interesting to see like their perspective. And if this is anything like the Suicide Squad movie, the new one, without all the comedy to it, but like a more darker tone, I think it could be really cool. So now Secret Invasion. I actually just read the comic storyline. I have it right here. Last year, it was actually a really good novel. It's not like as epic in scale as like the Infinity Gauntlet novel or anything like that. But it's actually a really cool story as it's these Skrulls, the Skrulls from Captain Marvel that we saw, and one of them was in Far From Home playing Nick Fury. I don't know what exactly, like how Marvel's going to adapt this comic, but it's sort of like the Skrulls come into our world and are impersonating all these heroes. So we don't know who's who. Other heroes that have disappeared or died off a long time ago all of a sudden randomly show up, and we don't know what to believe. Like, is this character back? Is this character actually this person? Because the Skrulls literally know everything about their character. They know the history. They can look exactly like them. There's no really real way of trying to determine what's a Skrull and what's not. So to see that, I think it's going to be a really fun series. Who knows? We're going to see, I think, a shit ton of cameos in there. And there are plenty of cool moments in this that I hope to see. Like, even this one I just landed on. Like, all these different Skrulls, dressed up as the superhero counterparts that they were playing as. I think it should be an epic sort of show. And I'm really hyped for it. So, honestly, for me, this is like an A. I might even be more excited for it than Quantumania. I think it's going to be really cool to see Nick Fury come back, and it's going to be a different type of Nick Fury, so maybe he is a Skrull, maybe he's not. Emilia Clarke's going to be in here. I love her from Game of Thrones. Excited to see what kind of role she'll play. And like I said, I really like the novel, so I hope they do it justice, and it's a really cool series. Loki Season 2. I'm really hyped for this one as well. I think I'm more hyped for it than Quantumania. I think Secret Invasion might be a little bit better in terms of like the scale and like what could actually happen. But Loki Season 2, man, the way that ended with the TVA, will Kang play into it? I feel like he has to. I feel like Kang does have to show up in this show. because we had so much of him towards the back half of the first season. The last 2 episodes were all about Kang trying to reveal Kang's plan, like what was it? Not the ancient one, the one who knows, or I forgot what name they gave him. That Kang that we saw in Loki, I forgot. And then we have the very crazy ending with like the statue Kang. So I feel like if Kang plays a big part in Loki season 2, that's gonna be crazy as well, because then it plays into everything. So, and then just Loki was probably the best Marvel TV show we've gotten so far. I do like WandaVision a little bit more, but Loki I think was the most well made. And to see Sylvie and everyone else and the different Loki variants again should be fun. So very hyped for that one. I can't wait for that to come back. Now we have Ironheart. Okay, listen, I'm gonna put the C tier. I don't really. I think maybe after I see Wakanda Forever, it'll go up to a B, maybe even an A, depending on the character. Because I know that the Ironheart character will show up in Wakanda Forever. We did see her in the trailer when she hammers the stone thing and Ironheart literally comes out. So she'll be introduced in that movie. She's already getting a new show. I just don't know anything about the character. I don't know her comic book character. Like I said, we haven't seen her Marvel yet, so like there's really no reason for me to be excited about this, because we don't really know even what the villain's going to be or the story in this show yet. So for right now, that's where my hype tier is at, C. I think she'll be a cool character though. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I'm going to put this at A. And I'm putting in A because, well, for one, I love the first 2 Guardians movies. I know a couple of people hate on the second one. I can see why. I think I have a lot of fun with it. I do enjoy it a lot. The first one is maybe a classic at this point. It's such a great movie. It changed the whole superhero genre, I think, in a lot of ways. And even other movies, like they try to get that vibe with the soundtrack now, trying to copy Guardians' vibe with the comedy and the music. It's like you see a lot of movies trying to do that. So I think Guardians' first one changed a lot in terms of like even film in general. And James Gunn even did say that this is the end of this core group's story of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm guessing Drax is going to die. That's the thing that people have been teasing a lot of. I think it's going to happen. I think Drax will die. Will Rocket die? Who knows? Groot could die. Like any of them could die. I think Star-Lord's going to stick around. I think Gamora's going to stick around. And we even got the villain reveal at the Comic-Con. It's not the Eternity. It's the something. I can't remember it now. But he was the one that was testing on Rocket when he was a kid. He was the one that really did all those experiments on Rocket and made him from regular Raccoon into what we know him of today as like the talking, badass Raccoon that he is now. So to see more history and flashbacks of Rocket Raccoon is going to be really cool. I don't know much about history from the comics, but I did play the Telltale video game of Guardians of the Galaxy, and that even dived into Raccoon's backstory, Rocket Raccoon. And it was super interesting. He had like a love interest. It was really dark and sort of torture what they did to him. But to see that on screen is going to be really cool. Build some more character background on him. I hope they don't kill him, but a lot of movies, when they do that focus on a character's background, it usually means that they're going to kill him. So, Fantastic Four. Is this an S? I think it's an A. I think it's an A because I don't think it's like endgame level hype for me right now. But I don't think anything's more hype than Fantastic Four for me in terms of like what this movie could be like. If they get a good director behind this, get a good cast, this will be hopefully the best origin movie from the MCU so far. And I don't think Doctor Doom should be the big bad of this movie. I think he should be teased in this movie, after credits scene maybe, have another Fantastic Four villain thrown in there. But I think Doom should be saved for Secret Wars. I want him to be the big bad of Secret Wars. I think it just fits better with Secret Wars. I'll talk about Secret Wars in a little bit. But he needs to be like the Thanos level threat, because he is the best Marvel villain, I think, that Marvel has in their comic book arsenal. He has the technology and the geniusness of Tony Stark. And he's got like the sorcery of like Wanda pretty much. So I think when you combine that, he should be like a Avengers level threat. Like he needs to be the big bad. So I don't want him to be like just this one-off villain for the Fantastic Four movie like we saw in the other Fantastic Four movies from the past. I want him to be teased and then eventually be like the big bad. But Fantastic Four, like I said, they get a good cast. I think a good director, because the Spider-Man director was supposed to direct it. Now he left. So I don't think they have a director yet, unless I'm wrong. But I'm really hyped for that one. I love Fantastic Four. Great group of characters, and Mr. Fantastic's going to be a prominent role in everything. Like he could become like our Tony Stark, our Iron Man. He could be like the leader of everything moving forward after Phase 5, so could be really cool. Echo, I think Echo's here. Oh, actually, Daredevil's in it. Okay, it's like B. I'm really only excited about Echo for Daredevil and Kingpin because I know they're gonna be in it. The Echo character was cool, and Hawkeye, I liked her. I thought she did pretty good as a character, pretty interesting background, and like her whole character arc from the beginning of that series to the end. I just don't know where they can go with that character after this. I don't know anything about the story I haven't seen the trailer yet. Obviously, I didn't really connect with the character that much to really feel too excited. But if you bring Kingpin in, if you bring Daredevil in, that makes me excited. And the fact that they announced them already means that they're not going to just be like a one-off cameo. I think that means that they'll have a prominent role in the show. So that gets me pretty excited, but not too excited for me to be like super hyped for it. Like I'm not. When it shows up, you'll be like, all right, let's start Echo. Boom. It's not going to be like I sit down, grab my popcorn and soda, and like I feel giddy watching this. It'll be like, all right, let's just see what they got. Now for this though, Daredevil Born Again. Yo, if you know what, I really want to put it here. I'm not even kidding. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna put it here for now, and I'll tell you why. I have the Daredevil Born Again comic. This is one of the best comic books you could probably read in general for Marvel. Daredevil Born Again. This story is, I'm not gonna talk about spoilers. This story is pretty much the fall of Daredevil. He is at his lowest here, and the story goes that Kingpin finds out the identity of Daredevil. He knows that he's Matt Murdock, so what he does, he strips him of everything. He has no Daredevil suit, takes away his house, his family, he takes away everything. He's homeless, he can't fight, he has no suit. Like the Daredevil name has been like washed through the streets to where like it's like a tarnished name, like everyone hates him. It's literally Daredevil's lowest point. And it's all about Daredevil sort of like coming out of that funk, going after Kingpin. A couple other characters like Foggy and stuff have like integral moments in this comic book. It was really good. I loved it. I think from like a comic book standpoint, like the visuals and like just the way it was written was like really good, and I really enjoyed that. But to see that live action, to be able to see just Daredevil really at his lowest, like super, super low, and to dig his way out of that to like save his name again by the end, that could be God tier level television. So I'm even getting myself more hyped just talking myself into it. So I'm okay with putting it S tier. 18 episodes. That means that they really have faith in this. I think this should be awesome. So I'm okay with putting S tier. Captain America New World Order. I see a lot of people hating on Sam Wilson as Captain America. I liked him. I think it's great. Shit. I guess not great enough though. I'm looking at like these other projects. I'm looking at Quantum Mania. Trying to think of like what kind of feeling I'm gonna have going into that movie of like seeing Kang, seeing like the Star Wars level type movie, or like knowing what it's gonna be like in terms of like the quantum realm, and like seeing that visually is always really fun. So like then I'm thinking about Loki, and I just don't think Captain America New World Order, like when I go into the theater for that movie, this is just me thinking without seeing a trailer, I feel like I won't be as hype as the A tier movies right now. But I think Sam Wilson, Falcon playing Captain America, I think he did great in the show. I like that show a lot more than other people. New World Order, I don't know that comic book storyline, so maybe I should read it and I'll get more hype. But for right now, because I don't know a trailer, I don't really know much of the story, I don't really know like anything about this besides the title, I can't really get too hyped. Alright, so next up is Blade. There are a couple of reasons why I'm super excited for Blade. One is Mahershala Ali. I think he's the perfect actor to be playing this role. I love the Wesley Snipes movies, nothing against those. I think they're great movies. I think seeing a live action adaptation of that type of vibe and like this vampiric world where Anthony Starr from The Boys, who plays Homelander, might be playing Dracula as the villain, that gets me super stoked. So for right now, Blade's like right here. I'm more excited for Fantastic Four and Guardians of the Galaxy, but Blade I think will be like my type of movie. Also spoilers for the Eternals after credits scene. Anyone who hasn't seen that, Kit Harington's character at the end hears the voice of Blade, so to see him maybe be incorporated in the story as well, I'm excited to see where that character goes. So Blade, super hyped for. Wakanda Forever is actually on here, so my mistake, I actually didn't see it. I'm gonna put it here. I think this recent trailer got me a lot more excited and confident in this project. With Chadwick Boseman's passing, that was actually a hard one. It was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But I was super interested in seeing what Marvel is going to do with that character now. Are they going to recast him? Are we going to see a different Black Panther from a different multiverse? The way this trailer made it seem was that Shuri might take up the mantle. Maybe T'Challa also had a kid before he passed. And so now, like, when that kid grows up, he'll take up over the mantle of Black Panther. So it gets me super excited to see like, the inklings of that. Also, Namor as the villain. He's a really cool character in the comics. He does something big in the Secret Wars comics. So I hope that he lives through this movie and sticks around as like a good guy. And not really a good guy, but like he has to work with these heroes for Secret Wars against Doom or whoever the big bad is. So to see like the beginning of that, maybe in this movie, that gets me really excited. I think it's going to be like a really well-made film as well, just from that trailer. Like the acting and everything, like the new brand of characters. I'm really excited for Wakanda Forever. So that's gonna be fun. Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. This is an S tier easy. It's an Avengers movie. We haven't gotten an Avengers movie since Endgame and Infinity War. I think this will be like the Infinity War to Secret Wars. I think Secret Wars is like that Endgame type of movie. The Kang Dynasty, right, set in the same year as Secret Wars, or coming out in the same year. This should be like the beginning of Secret Wars, which I don't know how they're going to do this, like, because these seem like very two different type of storylines to be so close together, because I feel like this movie is going to be like the Avengers Forever comic, if anyone's read that. Kang is like the big bad in that comic. He goes across all these universes and sort of like destroys them, takes them over, and it's like all these different multiverses of Kangs. So I think we should see the beginning of like a Secret Wars type of level multiverse thing going on with this movie. We could see other variants from other timelines come in. We're going to visit other timelines where Kang maybe is ruling or something. I think it should be like a really cool movie. I think Kang is an awesome villain. So if it's anything like that comic, again, I'm excited for it. But Secret Wars is the one that I'm really excited for. Again, I do have the Secret Wars comic here. I don't mean to be like toot my own horn by showing you guys my comic. I just want to like show you guys that like I have somewhat of an inkling of what I'm talking about. Just so I know there are some other content creators that are like sort of fake when it comes to Marvel or other superhero stuff because like trying to hop on the bandwagon. Not trying to say that if you don't read these stupid books, that doesn't mean that you're not a real Marvel fan. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just trying to say, like, as someone who's creating stuff around this topic, I just want you to know that like I do read some of the comics. I have a couple of them down below. I'm not a big comic nerd, but for Secret Wars, I do know what I'm talking about. And this storyline is massive. It's sick. I think it's going to be 10 times bigger than Endgame. And if they do it right, that with Doom, and if they bring in, Toby and Andrew, and like maybe Chris Evans as Hydra Cap, I think a lot of fans are going to eat that up as well. Not saying that they have to bring in those cameos, but I think it could happen because it fits into like what Secret Wars is all about in terms of all these different universes. And the storyline is about like these two universes that have an incursion. Multiverse of Madness, we got the beginning of incursions. And that's when I started to think like, oh, they might be doing Secret Wars if they have incursions already being talked about, because Secret Wars is all about incursions. And then Doom like takes advantage of it and becomes like Doom God, and he controls like everything, and a lot of people die, and it's a really cool storyline. So I think this will be like an Endgame type of movie, like I said, 10 times bigger. Really, really stoked for Secret Wars. So happy it was announced. And then now in last place, Agatha. I mean, not last place. Honestly, but I think I'd echo here, right? I'd echo here. Agatha is like here. I think I'm more excited for it than Ironheart because I know the Agatha character. But like some of these other projects, I just don't know what's going to be about. And, unless like Mephisto gets announced, it could be like this really, I think it's going to be a cool show. It's going to deal with like the underworld aspects of like the magic of Marvel. That sounds awesome. I want to explore more of that side more. So it should be cool. Like I said, if they bring in Mephisto and stuff, it should be really awesome. But this is where my ranking lies right now. So, comment down below what is your guys' personal ranking. If you want to give me a whole comment ranking all these, I love reading those. Or if you want to just tell me your top 3 or your number 1, I'm down for that as well. So that's all I have for you guys. There's a couple of new things coming out these next 2 days that I hope to cover. So I'll be doing that. And if anyone wants to follow me on TikTok, I just reached 10,000 followers on there. I do some little games and show off my movie collection a little bit. So anyone that's interested in that, you can follow me on there if you haven't already. But please make sure you like this video if you guys enjoyed it. And subscribe if you're new here. But that's all I have. So I'll see you on the next video. Have a great rest of the day.